Howdy, y'all. Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back. If this is your third Walker Independence episode review for you today. This is the last time I'm saying this. I have to say this a lot in the last couple days. So, as many of you know, I said this before in the last episode review. I'm saying it now. So right now, Fios TV, Verizon Fios, and the Nexstar/the CW channel is currently not in good standings right now, so I'm unable, as well as a lot of East Coast viewers are unable to watch the brand new episodes on the CW right now, which include, of course, the shows we review, such as Stargirl, Walker, and Walker Independence. So this week we managed to just delay everything back a day, but of course, right now there is no current end date to what the heck's going on with them in terms of negotiations. So instead, for next week, should the problem persist, we are going to be going into still the original dates we originally planned for these reviews to come out, but they'll be coming out at night. So next week, Walker Independence will be back on its Saturday time slot, this time to be on Saturday nights. So now you know, so you'll be getting the same episode review the same day, just will be 12 hours later. And there will be some weeks where I'm not going to be able to get them out exactly on time, like around 9:30 p.m., but I'm going to try my damn best. And of course, whenever the situation gets resolved officially, we will return back to its original morning slot. But until then, this is what we got to do. We're doing the best we can. Obviously, making the best of a bad situation. Please fix this, Verizon, or Nexstar, whichever one of you. I don't care. I just want I want my shows back live. But appreciative to the CW who makes now everything extremely easy. You can watch every episode the CW has ever produced this season for free the next day with no ads. It's literally just the episode, no BS. It's great. I love it. But anyway, so going into this week's episode of Walker Independence, it kind of felt like fluff in a good way. This was kind of the first episode where we didn't get a consistent, we are focusing on the main plot. We're kind of we're beginning to explore this kind of what else is going on in town. It was, I wouldn't even say it was a slice of life episode. It was morely it was helping the characters grow and just establishing their presence here in the town of Independence. Now, I really hope it doesn't become a pattern, because for me, I don't like it when a show or anything in media kind of becomes repetitive. This week, Abby's going to go do this for Daverson, and we're going to get a small thing. I really hope they don't do that. I hope it doesn't become that monotonous. I would get a little bored of that after a while, especially since I'm still a little bit on the fence with Walker Independence. But with this episode, it's starting to turn my tune a little bit. Last week, I definitely felt a little bit more positive towards the show. This episode continues that trend, as well as now again we're now just this is a character episode, character relationship episode, when we're trying to really start to deepen the relationships of certain characters and trying to figure out the dynamics a little bit better. The plot's still there, we're still mentioning it, but it's kind of on the back burner, because again, you can't really have the mystery be solved that quickly. You kind of have to have these side obstacles or side paths to kind of keep the characters intriguing enough so that when you do go back to the main plot, you feel more connected. And so far, it is working. It is baby steps, but it's really necessary baby steps to when we do eventually get to some of the bigger stuff. Hopefully down the road this season, we will get a bigger payoff. But for now, let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of Walker Independence. And I stupidly forgot to get a bottle of water because I feel a little dry in my throat. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep myself going. Keep myself started. We begin. It's the next day. Kate wakes up with her new roommate, Abby. God damn, I had a long day. I apologize. I want to say, yeah, so she's trying to get the morning routine going. It seems like she was just expecting her and Abby to kind of wake up together, get dressed together, and be new best buddies. But no, Abby's already long with the wind. She's gone already. And Kate decides to snoop around her stuff. Really lack of privacy. And it's all bare bones. It's only the first night. It's only been one night since she's moved in, and literally all she has is hand-me-down clothes, the book she got, and that's about it. That's all I don't even know what she was looking for. She had nothing when she came into town, and you're expecting her to have some sort of secret credential thing already by the rotes of it. Anywho, so no, but the real reason why Abby's out is because she's about to meet with Caliban and Hoyt, who are just giving some updates about where they're at with the Daverson front. They decide to split up again. Well, she also lets them know that Davidson offered her an official job to work with him at the sheriff's office. Both of them agree this is not a great idea to be right next to the man who killed your husband. We will find another way. So Hoyt decides to take this time to actually go and talk to Luis's family to see if they have any insight on the Davidsons, anything that can help them out. Caliban's off to back to his village to go talk with the elders, see if they have any insight about anything relating to the past with the Davidsons. They have any sort of connections with them. So they're off on, this is a split episode. They're kind of doing their own thing. This is like what I said about the fluff. Like, it's kind of like filler in terms of like, you got to split up the characters so you can get the most amount of story possible in that hood. Hoyt is at the ranch doing some horse taming, I guess. He's trying to like ride one of their horses, but they're not letting him. And Louisa and her family are really not impressed with Hoyt. They know of Hoyt. They accept Hoyt as a general person that's in their kids' lives. I don't think they know that Hoyt's banging their daughter, and especially rightfully right now. But yeah, Hoyt's trying, but he's just failing like a T right here. Caliban is in the middle of, so Caliban talks to the natives. I think they bring up something about their past. I'm really iffy about it, but it really isn't nothing. So Caliban decides to track down. Oh no, he decides to head over to Luisa's family's ranch for some reason, out of weird timing, I guess. It's like, I gotta annoy Hoyt this episode somehow. I have to the family of the girl that he's banging, and immediately we like him better. He knows Spanish, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this sounds like deja vu for me. Because oh my god, I don't even want to tell those stories, but Caliban's impressing the family better, so it's like, hey, she's gonna marry someone other than another Latino, like this guy's it. Like he can look and act the part. He's very respectful. Hoyt is just there, just getting his ass whooped in Spanish, like saying that Hoyt is just nothing, and he's trying his best to like I don't even know what the relation, the dynamic is between this family, because Hoyt, once the mom gives Caliban the last of their food, Hoyt's like, why does he get more? It's like, because he's a good person and he deserves the last scoop, unlike you. And it's like, I feel like everyone knows about Hoyt, but they just like, it's like that miscreant that like, you know they're bad, but they're nice to you. You like them decently enough. It's like Kimmy Granger with the Tanner family. They know she's annoying. They would prefer not for her to be around, but they tolerate her enough for her to be at the table. So that's kind of how the analogy is. Hoyt's off to cleaning dishes while Caliban's continuously impressing Luisa's folk. Again, it's not implied if he also has a crush on Luisa. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. We're not into the territory of like specific character shippings or relationships yet, I'm guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if they broached that, considering the fact that Hoyt's had his chance. He's been with Luisa. If Caliban wants a little bit of action, he wants a little bit of like that chance, he's allowed to. He's totally allowed to. Hoyt gets mad, decides to take his horse back as retribution for him, and it's pretty funny. Abby arrives at the sheriff's office, gets blindsided a little bit because when Sheriff Davidson's talking to her about just, what her first duties is going to be as his official assistant. She looks outside, she sees another piece of her former wagon, like being carried away, kind of like as, recycle collection. And she's just, again, like reminding the fact that, of her situation, where she stands, and okay, like I have to take out Davidson, so let's do it. What's my first assignment? And her first assignment is to basically serve an eviction notice to a pair of sisters who run kind of like a general store in town, who bicker a lot and, that sort of thing. The traditional bickering sisters that disagree on many things. She serves them their eviction notice that they have to vacate. And it sucks the fact like these sisters are like, oh, we have a customer. It's like, oh no, I'm just here to serve you an eviction notice. It's like kind of like the biggest fuck you can do. And we get a brief bit about them for their argument that one of the sisters kind of had this like love interest, or kind of like this swinger who needs an investment fund. So she put their property, their store out as for collateral. Now the bank is collecting due. They're having their argument, and, Abby feels a little bit bad because she wants to help them, but, given her current position right now, again, still being the new face in town, there really isn't much she can do at the moment. But however, she is remiss that she has no choice but to serve this eviction notice to them, and they kind of have to politely, shut down. She meets up with Kate for an afternoon tea. Kai's there as well because he likes Kate, and he's like, okay, these two are here. Why not? Okay, this is the like my only like I mention this in every episode. Well, I don't mention it in every review, but like every time I watch a show, and I notice like, oh, here comes the new character. The main character rolls into the town or the city, and suddenly things get excitedly interesting again. Like, I'm pretty sure Kai and Kate have not even had a moment together in terms of like, we're having a shared personal conversation. It just seems like even before the show, I'm pretty sure that Kai likes her, and it's a distant thing, but they only maybe say hi in passing at times, and that's about it. This is the closest they're going to get. Abby decides to kind of intervene and step in and figure out that, you know what? I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them out. Somehow. I'm helping them out. I'm helping them out somehow. I'm really struggling with my English here today, everyone. She heads over to the bank, talks to them, saying that, oh, they're my friends. Like, I want to help them out. What's going on here? It's like, easy. They put their house as a collateral. Well, their property and their business as collateral. They didn't pay their dues, so we're taking it back. And Abby decides to do a little bit more research, and she's like, oh, this property is very close to the Davisons' property. So that's intriguing. And also, I just realized, I just had like, I remember like back from the original Walker season 2 thing, and I was like, wait, the Davisons had a lot of land for a long time. Are we going to lose this fight? I'm just realizing that. I got to rewatch season 2 at some point in the future if this thing doesn't get resolved anytime soon. So they decide, well, the only way we're going to be able to try and get them out of debt is to make as much money in one day of business. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of flaws here, but well, let's finish the recap before we go any further with this. Before we even get to that recap, Hoyt arrives back into town, about to start his usual antics again. He has a bit of an issue at a bar. Oh, no, wait. He goes into the saloon for another round of poker. He's about to lose, or he's about to win, and of course, a riot breaks out as always. Why do they even allow Hoyt at the table if they know he's going to cause some sort of issue? I don't even know why by this point. He escapes, but the moment he tries to get away from everything, he runs into someone that he recognizes. He gets knocked over with a shovel. He awakes in another town near Independence called Angelstown. I forgot what the name of it was. He wakes up in like a very half constructed church, surrounded by all the townsfolk. Apparently, he faked himself as a pastor to get free housing, free food, free water, free booze, and of course, he had sex with a bunch of girls. I'm like, is there not a woman that he's not banged by this point? I mean, like, come on. Come on. They're all pretty miffed at him still, like, the fact that even the guy who put him back is like, I forgave you for sleeping with my wife. And I'm just like, how desperate are you to keep your marriage alive if you were accepting the fact your wife slept with another man? Jesus Christ. I'm very thankful I didn't live back in the day. Thank God. Anyway, so they decide the only reason they're here is like, you're going to make do with us. So they're a small town. They're going to make business. This is mostly a housing town, so there really isn't much of a business around there. Their only thing is in imports and exports. So they import some whiskey, but the problem is poachers have been, not poachers, bandits and poachers have been attacking their carriage, taking all their product. So they haven't been able to make a lick of cent in a long time. So they're bringing Hoyt because Hoyt knows how to shoot a gun. You're going to protect us. You just do this one thing, this one pass through, you're forgiven. Your entire thing is forgiven. Okay, I don't even know how that really works. This guy has fornicated a bunch of women. He's breaking marriages, and one delivery is going to forgive things. All right, it is what it is there. Okay, you know what? That's a great deal. Take it or leave it. So he's gunned up. They head over on the carriage. They're on their way. They're catching up a bit about just things. Apparently, there's an elder that kind of took a fancy to Hoyt while he was there. So he doesn't want to let him down by telling him that Hoyt's actually basically a scumbag. Calaman also is looking for his horse, so he's trying to trace down Hoyt as much as he can. Eventually, Hoyt gets attacked by the bandits. He fails to protect the carriage. Most of the whiskey gets spilled over, and the bandits take over the carriage, knocking over Hoyt. He meets up with Caliban to get into a fight again because, why is Caliban following Hoyt? Why is he even here? And you know what? Again, it's all the bonding. Like, these two people, they fucking hate each other. But you know what? They have a common mission against the Davison with Abby. And, well, they're currently on a side mission, but still, this is a good time to, like, you know what? Let's actually work together. Let's work together as a team and figure out what can we get done here. Which that's what they do. So they decide to team up, head over to the bandits' mini house, farmhouse. I don't even know what it is. I'm not that iffy on like the world of the Wild Wild West, to be honest with you. So Hoyt decides to distract them while Caliban decides to take the steed, or tries to take the steed. The plan doesn't go entirely 100% as they planned into. They get to a bit of a chase. I know Hoyt fails to actually shoot them. He runs out of bullets in his gun. They're about to kill him, but Caliban does a slow motion Hawkeye string back, takes them both down, saves the day. Hoyt takes the victory. He takes all the credit, of course. Hoyt's always got to take the credit here. There's a reason why the Rollin family line's got to continue over to the present day. There's an entirely decent reason there. So they successfully complete that front. Meanwhile, on the other successful front, Abby's recruited Kate and her dancers to kind of drum up business for the general store, get a lot of customers going, which, again, this is my only one problem with this scene. It's like, well, you solve their problems today, but the dancers aren't always going to be there every day to drum up business. So you solve their problems today, but are you really going to pick that up again in the next episode or the following episode? That's my one problem with these characters of the week size episodes. Like, yeah, it's great that you helped solve their problem. You did a good deed. My only iffy problem with that is that, well, they're kind of, they still need to make money when you're gone. And the dancers aren't going to be there to help. Okay, again, it's great. It's great. Like, I'm not trying to be negative here. Like, yeah, they solved their debt problem. They're going to keep their property and their land, their storefront. Okay, that's all great. But they it's not going to be an everyday thing. So I'm like, what are you going to say about that? So that's the only thing I'm trying to say about that. It's a foregone conclusion. So they successfully save the day. They help them save the thing. Abby makes sure their money's deposited in the bank, so they're good to go. They're all safe. She also regroups up with Hoyt and Caliban, trying to get an update on them. The only thing they got on the Davison front was Luisa's folks had rejected the Davisons' offer to purchase their land. Then all of a sudden, all the cattle's gone. So, and they're acting pretty chill about it. So, like, you know what? They're in good standings right now. So we'll leave it be. Abby tells them about the same thing about like what she discovered about what he tried to do with the sisters' land. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention when she was initially pitching to the sisters of putting aside their bickering for now for the sake of their property, their land, and their business, is that Abby has a sister as well back in Boston that they used to be close with, but once Abby left for obviously here, that obviously like changed their entire dynamic of the relationship. Kate, who's very intrigued about Abby, like takes this knowledge of like, oh, you have a sister, that's cool. What else do you have? Husband, family, children? Like the mystery's obviously deep into what exactly is Kate right now. To her. So later that night, Abby meets up with Davison, and Davison's under the guise of like, wow, you quickly got them out of their properties pretty quickly. Nice job. And she's like, no, they're just sold out for the day. They're gonna be closed for a while just to replenish stock. But they're good. They're gonna save their money. They're gonna keep their property. Davison's like, for now. He leaves because like he's kind of pissed off, but he knows like, well, I can't let her on that I'm a villain, so I gotta really like hide myself over here. Meanwhile, I forgot this entire other minor subplot that was going on is that it was just Davison and the deputy. They were trying to like get a little bit more bonding time going here, trying to figure out if the deputy's actually going to be his friend or not. They're off digging proper graves for Abby's husband and the guy that the sheriff Davison blamed over for his death, and they're just talking a bit about shoveling people's where they're gonna basically lie for their bodies for the rest of their lives, and just the feeling of like I guess the deputy's never really killed anyone like that before, and this is kind of like the first time he's been doing it, as well as Davison needs to know where he's gonna stand, like in case the deputy does eventually find out like, yeah, I know what you did. It's like, okay, good. Are you gonna be on my side and shut your fucking mouth, or are you gonna be on the right side and help me succeed in taking over this town? It's not clear just yet, but the deputy does have a little bit of business taking the last of the belongings of the guy he shot last episode to, I guess, his wife or his girlfriend or his partner. I really don't know here. But she's not happy with his presence. Like, he wasn't charged anything when he was alive, and now he's dead, and you want to charge him with murders and such. I'm like, this is disrespectful. And obviously, again, it's not planned. This wasn't the idea, but, this is why Sheriff Davison needs to be stopped. He can't afford to be sheriff anymore. So we'll figure that out eventually. And then lastly, to end off the episode, I believe properly, is Abby goes back to her room, ready to tuck in after a long day. She finds I think she looks into her drawer, or or Kate's drawer. She finds a gun. She turns to Kate and she's like, "Who are you?" And Kate responds, "Who are you?" And it's like, you know, if one's asking, "Who are you?" the other one's asking, "Who are you?" then what am I? I know, you know, that was a bad joke. I don't even know why I was trying to do that. Because that was the end of this week's episode of Walker Independence. So again, despite this being kind of like a filler episode of sorts, or kind of like just like slice of life episode, it's like this wasn't a major, like, we're getting every scene of major importance of the plot. You know, this definitely kind of expanding the lore of the town, help deepen Abby's connection with Kate and Kai, trying to get Hoyt and Caliban to at least tolerate each other a little bit more. We did get some progress on that front, finding out more of like what Davison's overall plan is going to be. We were getting that information. But I was remiss to say that, again, the whole sister idea, it was great at all, but like, again, that doesn't solve the problem. They still got many more months of payments to come. So I'm like, you know, we'll see how that goes. They'll actually even make a reference to that, or even the background or something. But otherwise, yeah, this was just a great character bonding episode. You know, I think Hoyt and Caliban are just going to be a team to beat. But I think it's not going to be hard to like have them bicker as much, to be honest with you. Abby and Davison, again, it's going to be interesting to see if Davison's going to find out pretty early on that, like, yeah, Abby is going to know about his plots pretty soon. Because, like, already I'm like, okay, you're already self-sabotaging me here. I mean, I don't know. I might not have to, like, hire you anymore. And Abby needs to get paid somehow because she's stuck in this town for God knows how long. And, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm really curious to see who the heck Kate actually is. They never really given her a title if she's an agent or she's a mole or anything. We don't really know just quite yet. Hopefully next episode will kind of give us that another character advancement episode, but we'll see how that all goes. But for this week's episode of Walker Independence, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. The first time I'm giving 2 thumbs up. I thought it was great. Definitely, hopefully it'll continue that same trajectory. Again, I'm still iffy on the show, but it's becoming a good standard. It's a good show. Let's just say that much. But let me in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of Walker Independence? Let's have a conversation down below. But until that point, that'll be it for this week's episode review. So that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the hopeful first season of Walker Independence. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the Tube, besides our Walker Independence reviews, we are currently doing Walker episode reviews each and every week, the Rookie episode reviews each and every week, the Rookie Feds episodes each and every week, and then DC Stargirl episode reviews each and every week for your viewing pleasure. We will be back next week, if you don't care about Walker Independence, for another episode review, so stay tuned until then. But again, this has been What's the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live. Please also like, favorite, share this review if you want to. But it does help us get started to other people who may enjoy our content. Follow us on social media and ring the bell for notifications. But until we see each other again, for all you members out there of the Independence Town, I'll see you all to the next week's episode. But until that point, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, this hat hurts me to hell, but peace out.